Congratulations on the opportunity. Obviously, we're gonna miss you here in Utica, but pumped for you. I mean, first off, so you're working for FIFA on their preparations for the World Cup. What's gonna entail? What's the position and everything like that?
Yeah, so the position is manager of referee operations. So I'll be in charge of a large group of the world's best referees. And I am in charge of all the logistics of managing that group. So transportation, flights, food, security, all the day-to-days of those referees during the World Cup. I'm also working on the Club World Cup, which is next year in 12 cities across the US. But to have the opportunity to work at the world's biggest sporting event ever, it's a dream come true and one that I couldn't pass up.
Yeah, I mean for sure. Just how did that come about? Was it just something that you saw the opening, or how did you hear about it? How did it kind of all come together?
Yeah, so back before my Utica time, I lived in Chicago and I worked for the U.S. Soccer Federation, just starting as a referee operations intern, and I worked my butt off to get a coordinator job at U.S. Soccer. So I had experience working with referees, and I know the landscape of American refereeing very well. And so when I was actually at U.S. Soccer, it was announced that we were going to get in 2018. It was announced that we were going to get the World Cup in 26, and I said at that time, I will do anything to be a part of this event and this legacy. And so I looked at FIFA's career pages, and I scoured the pages for months, and they're slowly started to add more and more people to that Miami office. And I saw this position come up. And I was like, you know what? Let's just throw my resume in and see what happens. And then I got the first interview, and then I got the second interview, and then I got the sixth interview. And finally, after that, they offered it to me, and it's a no-brainer. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Who knows when the World Cup's coming back here?
Yeah.
And it's really tough to leave, but I'm really excited about this new chapter.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine. So you're relocating to Miami, and you're leaving tomorrow. You said, is it happening? It's happening.
I got a train ride tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. To New York City. I'm going to see some people in New York City, and then I fly out Saturday morning. But they've already got me traveling in the first couple of months. So we're going to host these regional referee seminars all over the world in preparation for the World Cup. So I'll be in Dubai for 5 days. I'll be in Argentina for 5 days. I'll be in Zurich, Switzerland for 5 days. And so to travel the world with the world's largest sporting organization, it's surreal, and it hasn't kicked in yet until I get there this weekend. But I've just been trying to say goodbye to a chapter of my life that has meant so much to me, in Syracuse and in Utica.
Yeah. Man, what a whirlwind this must be, huh?
Yeah, and it's not easy to tell, the Utica fans, to tell, my high school team, in Syracuse, but they're all really happy for me and for this opportunity. So, the door isn't closed to Central New York for me. Definitely not.
Right. Yeah, I mean, so obviously it's such an exciting opportunity. You did mention a little bit just kind of how tough it is to leave. With what you've been able to, especially here in Utica, just over the last, 4 or so years, with what the community that you've kind of built, and just the fans and everything. I mean, how difficult is it? Because it is a dream opportunity for you to work for FIFA, but you have very quickly embraced this community. So how difficult was that decision, and how much has your time here in Utica meant to you?
I lived my dream playing professional soccer for Utica City. I never thought it would be possible. And when I moved back here, I had some friends playing on the team, and I just thought how cool it would be if my family, and especially my dad, who was very sick at that time, he got one opportunity to see me play and in the odd where it's electric. And so that just gave me so much motivation to train every day. And I can't say I was a polished player in year one, but I did what everyone else didn't want to do. I did community appearances. I did social media. Whatever. I cleaned the locker room. Whatever the team needed in year one, I was willing to do. just to bring as much value as I could while I learned the game. And then, year two, I got an opportunity and I took it. And it really takes, Tommy Tanner says it takes 3 years in the league to learn it. It's true. It is very true. It takes a long term to learn the angles, and the transition it's a brutal sport. It's a brutal sport on your body. There's so much change of direction. And so it's put a wreck on my body over 4 years. But I also think that my playing style is probably not traditional in the sense that I am all over the field trying to make plays, throwing my body. But when you have 3,000 screaming fans, it doesn't hurt in the moment.
Sure.
But I think that playing in the Odd it's one of the most unique arenas and unique fan bases in all of sports. And I have time for every fan, every fan that I think it's Utica City is one of the best third places ever. You can come alone, you can come with your family, it can be a date, whatever it is. We have time for you, and we want to get to know you. And so it's been so special playing these last 4 years, and something that I'll cherish for the rest of my life.
Yeah. How proud are you just to see how far you came and what a fan favorite and what a big part of this organization you became in such a short amount of time. How proud are you of where, from year one, where you didn't really have much of a spot to where you are now leaving it? How proud are you of the progress that you made and where you're leaving this right now?
Yeah, I think on the field, I had a couple good seasons. The last 2 seasons, I really struggled with injury, but I think I'm more happy with the legacy that I left off the field, and with the fans and with the community. I won't remember wins and losses or goals or assists at the end of the day. I'll just remember the memories with my teammates and on road trips and memories with the fans, putting on trivia at 72 or at the zoo, or just all these community events. And to be able to give back to the next generation of kids in Utica is something that I never really had growing up in Syracuse. And to see that impact, and to see kids, at the arena smiling, getting to talk to their idols, sort of say, is a lasting impact and something that I will look back on and just smile, because that's all I can do.
Yeah, I mean, you're from Manlius, right, originally, and so you've kind of lived down the road, so to speak, from Utica for much of your life, but maybe didn't spend a ton of time here before, playing here. So what did you maybe learn about the Utica community that over the past 4 years now you'll be able to like look back and remember Utica by and just kind of your time here?
Yeah, so I moved here. I'm currently in Utica. I live above Taylor and the Cook at the moment.
Oh, wow.
And I was so serious about this team that I thought it was necessary to move from my hometown of Syracuse with my family and friends all the way to Utica, because it was so important to me, and the facilities we have here are second to none. And I was sick of commuting 6 months, during the winter at 7 a.m. for practice. And it's been fantastic to be in the Utica community for the last year. The people are so welcoming, and they were welcoming to me from the very start, from year one. And so I have a real love for the people of Utica and for this community. And it's funny that my teammates and some of the fans always joke like, Timmy, you got to run for mayor of Utica. You'd win like this. And it's something I definitely think about.
Yeah.
Is how can I make a bigger impact, using my platform. And so I don't think I'll run any political, runs anytime soon. But I don't think that my journey with this team is over. This is a fixed term position with FIFA till 2026, the end of 2026. At that point, I'm technically unemployed. We'll see if FIFA wants me to move back to Zurich. And then also in the back of my mind, I used to work for the U.S. Olympic Committee. So the LA 28 games is something that's hot in my mind. To be a part of the two massive sporting events.
Yeah.
Ones that have the potential to be the biggest sporting events ever. It's what I want to do, and it's like it's time for a new chapter for me. You know, coming home to Central New York, I had to deal with my father's health for over 2 years, and I think now I'm in a good spot where mentally I've kind of moved past it, but it's this place reminds me still so much of him, and I think it's time for a change of scenery, and time to maybe get a little sun. I'm pretty pale. I'm excited for a little more vitamin D.
Yeah.
Down in Florida. But I hope to make a game this year, if I can, if I can swing it at my schedule, and the organization still means so much to me. And breaking the news to the fans it's one of the toughest moments in my life.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and you could tell. I mean, you could tell how difficult it was for you, and yeah, it was shocking when I was scrolling through the Twitter feed and I saw that. I was like, no, Timmy. But I mean, obviously, everybody's so happy for you for the opportunity. I mean, just to you've mentioned the fans, and obviously just what the atmosphere at the Aud is like. But I think specifically when you're on the field there and you have 3,000 plus fans and they're cheering for you and they're chanting your name, and you're getting them going, orchestrating your celebrations, getting them pumped up. I mean, what is that like for you, that moment like for you to hear that support?
It's the best feeling in the world. It is. I mean, those fans make you want to run through a brick wall. And I wanted to run through a brick wall. And every time I got on the field, for those fans who pay their hard-earned money, to be at the games. And so the crowd is contagious, and that's all I wanted to do is kind of be the middleman between my team and the crowd to energize my team. And the way I did that was just by throwing my body all over the floor. Effort. You can't call it effort, and that's why I think the fans became so connected to me is because I was working for them. I wanted to help bring a championship back for those people. So our fans, to bring happiness to the people of Utica.
Yeah. You certainly did that. Do you have, I mean, I know it must be tough because 4 years, and I'm sure there's a lot of thoughts going through your head, but do you have was there maybe a moment or moments that maybe stick out to you, that's going to be the one that I remember forever, or, what kind of stands out in your mind?
Yeah, so year one, I got to play in not a lot of games, but I got to play in one game specifically, and it's now a core memory for me, against the Rochester Lancers. And we were up 10-3 at the time, but in the last 0.4 of the game, Nate Bordeaux chipped me a ball, and I did a diving header down into the goal. And my dad and my mom were in attendance. They were sitting front row. I was captain that day. And all the boys, this was still when you could, all the team could celebrate on the field, which they've got rid of, but all the boys came over to the corner, and then I went over to my parents and gave them a big hug. And that will forever stick with me as my favorite moment in the league, and just seeing my father's face and how proud of me I was. So that's got to stick out as my top moment. And then also, I think it was super fun to be able to play in the different arenas around the U.S. They're all so different, and Mexico. Playing down in Mexico is a surreal experience because there's so many variables, and they play a different playing style than up here in the States. So taking away trips with my teammates, and just hanging out with my teammates is some of the top memories I have.
Good stuff, man. Yeah, I was looking through some of the footage we have of some of your highlights and stuff to prepare for the story, and we still have that goal, your header on your first goal, which was electric. Yeah, that was awesome. So it's been, really awesome, covering you the last 4 years and seeing you out there on the blue turf. And, again, I appreciate you doing this.
I really appreciate the coverage, and that I'm able to say goodbye. And it's not a goodbye forever, a goodbye for essentially 18 months. But if people are looking for the World Cup tickets, I guess I'm the guy. It seems like I've made a lot of new friends in the last couple of days.
Perfect. Yeah, they're all coming out of the woodwork. Yeah. I was
They
gonna-
are. That's
yeah.
exactly it.
Yeah, I might have to take you up from that. If I can't get approved for credentials, I'll hit you up for that.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
All right, man. Well, again, thank you for doing this. Yeah, definitely, keep in touch. Don't be a stranger. Obviously, we'd love to follow your journey too as you're going around the world in preparation for it and stuff. So, I'm sure we'll be talking again soon. And good luck and congrats again on the opportunity. It's awesome.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, definitely stay in touch. I'll send you my cell phone number. Just
Perfect. Yeah.
to have that. And if you ever want to reach out, feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to provide updates on where I am in the world and what I'm doing.
We'll do a segment. Where in the world is Tim Goldman?
Where in the world? Yeah, am I in the Middle East? Am I in South America? Am I
Yeah.
am I in Miami?
That'll be awesome.
Yeah. But I appreciate all the support you guys do for the team and for all of Utica sports. It's a special place.
Yeah, it definitely is a special place, and this team. I mean, it's so exciting. I've told some of the other guys and stuff that even people who might not even be into soccer beforehand. Like my dad, he's never really been into soccer at all, and I took him to one of your games, and he was like, "This is awesome." So it's a really cool thing that our area has, and it's definitely been something that the area's fallen in love with.
And it's sheer entertainment. It's
Yeah.
back and forth. It's blocks, it's shots, it's goals, it's transition.
Yeah.
And I always say I'm a soccer player, but I'm more an entertainer.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm an okay soccer player, very entertainer.
You know what? That's a lethal combination right there. So
It is. I made my 4-year career on it.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, those games are it's a blast. So it's been so much fun having this team here, and definitely it was a pleasure to see you out there. So hopefully we'll see you either out on the turf there or on the bench there maybe someday again. But for now, good luck, and definitely keep in touch.
Awesome. Sounds good, Spencer. Well, I appreciate your time, and we'll chat soon. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll talk soon. Good luck.
Thank you, man. Appreciate the
Thank you, man.
call.